My name's Zoe Williams. I'm a columnist for The Guardian, and previous to that I used to write for the Evening Standard. I write a lot about women's issues, even though my argument always seems to be this isn't a woman's issue, which is roughly what my argument is tonight. We're talking about family planning. I'm actually going to focus on the pill because I think the abortion legislation, even though it's incredibly important politically and socially, I don't think the medical advances were really what defined it, whereas definitely the medical advances were what made the pill such an extraordinary breakthrough. My argument will basically be counter to a kind of silent but quite pervasive argument that I think runs through society at the moment, which is that the pill just freed us up to behave like Carrie Bradshaw out of Sex and the City, and it's a real single woman's plaything, and it's made us really irresponsible, and that's why we've all got liver cancer and haven't got any children. While those things might be true, my argument will be that it's actually had much more impact on society from within a kind of marital unit, and just because it's the woman taking the pill and just because it's changed the dynamic between a husband and wife, its impact is still on a family. And you know, the difference it's made economically to families to be able to determine how many children they were going to have is enormous, and not only economically but, you know, thence politically and just in terms of the way we see our children and see our families and see our place in society. It all proceeds from whether you've got the number of children you want or just an enormous number of children, all of whom you're fond of, but some of whom you wouldn't necessarily have chosen. But it's basically saying that, you know, this is about empowerment, but not just for women. It's about empowerment for everybody. You know, it's a kind of breakthrough. It's a break from your own biology, and biology is a tyranny. You know, the biology of reproduction has tyrannized everybody for centuries, not just women. I've got some interesting anecdotes, not personal to me, but interesting stories from the beginning of the pill. One doctor, because the local authorities were allowed to prescribe it according to their own discretion from 1967, but 18 months after that they found that only 169 of 204 of them were even prescribing it at all, and they were doing a restricted service, i.e. they were only doing it to unmarried women. So a lot of married women actually got it for their unmarried sisters. There was a real surreal black market. I don't know what this unmarried sisters had to do in return, but let's not worry about that. But there was also kind of certain liberal doctors would get a kind of reputation for not looking too closely at your wedding ring, but you still had to wear it. So there would be one doctor said that he'd seen the same cheap brass wedding ring on 6 consecutive women because the receptionist was keeping it at her desk and handing it out as they went in.